So, what advice would you give to whether they be whatever line of work they're in, an executive, a professional athlete, who are still on the at least from the outside looking like they're winning, but feeling lost underneath? What early warning signs should they be paying attention to cut this off before it spirals out of control?
Yeah, I think the first telltale signs are in our emotions, like in the sense of I think when we get you work too hard, you get tired, you get moody. You get tired, you're going home. Oh, I've got to get the train to Surrey or Kent or somewhere, or I can go in the pub and have 2 or 3 pints. So there's moodiness, there's tiredness, there's not being present, not being
Mm-hmm.
available, and these are the early signs. Then what follows is arguments with missus, kids are annoying me. My patience and my tolerance. All these are telltale signs that I was getting emotionally dysregulated. And what I've just said then is very common for people who are in stressful jobs, whether you're a professional athlete or professional person. You don't have to be a professional person, by the way. It's just if there's stress and there's pressure. So the first telltale signs is I'm I'm not joyous. I'm not happy. And those joyous moments are few and far between. I'm discontent. I'm irritable. Then what happens is normally that's when we lean into the coping mechanisms of drink and drugs because it gives us relief. I'm going to get drunk tonight in the pub, banter, laughter, joking, and you think, oh, I'm okay now. I feel good. I go home. And for a short period of time, that stuff works. But the longer you stay in it, it never ever gets less. You'll only drink more. You'll only stay out more often. You'll only stay out later. Then the longer you stay out, nothing good happens after midnight. So picking up drinks, and you end up being with people you shouldn't be with, in places you shouldn't be, doing things you shouldn't be doing. So it starts with tiredness, moodiness, coping mechanism, vices come in. So the first thing, awareness, is my mood, and then be aware. If you're listening to this podcast, take an inventory. How's it going? Like, how present and available are you with your wife? How present and available are you with your kids? Honestly, like not Saturday getting out of bed and hungover and tired from the week and being moody. And the other thing, ultimately, if it gets that bad where the wife says, listen, you've got to stop this or we're done, or you're getting consequences um, or repercussions, not turning up to work or your work productivity is dropping off or something. That's one step prior to speaking to somebody. And that's where we get into trouble as men, is that one of the reasons I didn't speak to anyone. The first time I spoke to someone, I went to a rehab. I dropped 4.5 stone before I spoke to someone. Now, the question is, why didn't I speak to someone? Well, the reason was because I got a law degree. I went to Oxford University. I was the director of a bank. I got things done. I can sort this out. I am the fixer. I'm the man who gets it done. I'm the achiever, the high achiever. I will get this done. And um, so, in answer to the question, what are the telltale signs? Mood swings, irritability, discontent, not present, not available, productivity at work goes down, arguments with loved ones, with family, etc., etc. Then you should speak to someone. And if you are a professional person and you don't want to talk to someone, or you don't know who to talk to, as I said to you before the podcast started, I don't want to speak to dad because I don't want to let dad down. He'll think that it's some sort of reflection of his parenting. What are you doing drugs for? That's dad. Don't want to speak to mum. Don't want to break her heart. Right? Mates they're there for a bit, but they don't really understand. So now we're starting to run out of people to talk to. I'm filling a gap, I believe, that's in the gap in the market, if you want to call it that, is that people can go along to a counsellor. Go and find a counsellor who's done 20 or 30 grams of coke a week, earned $1 million bonuses, played at Twickenham numerous times, etc., etc., and has overcome it all just for today, right, and can relate and identify. That's where I reach out to professional rugby, ex-professional rugby players and ex-professional people to say, I've been there. I've been there. Whatever emotion, whatever circumstance you're going through, I can relate and identify. Then I layer on 2.5 years of study and now 3 or 4 years of, professional work. Is I want to be that guy. Reach out to me. If you're a professional person struggling, you're a professional rugby player struggling, or an ex-professional rugby player, and you don't know who to talk to, reach out to me.